Hello everyone, welcome to another video in the series Everything You Need to Know about Immortal. Today we will be covering Ashoka, Buddhist King. Ashoka is one of the OG Immortals that has been here since the release, and in my opinion it's very underwhelming how he has been treated by the game. So like basically you only need maybe one more update or optimization before he can actually be a very good archer for the fire team, because the potential is there, especially with the skill that can do a lot of damage. And if it does a lot of damage, I think he can be one of the better archers in the game. And in this video we're going to cover and test his ultimate, and we're going to go through everything about Ashoka as well. How do we get Ashoka? Ashoka is very easy to obtain. You can find him in the market, which I forgot to write here. And you can, of course, summon him in the summoning hall, harbor random immortal fragments from either Golden Path or Harbor. And you can obtain him via Mysterium as well, as well as his artifact. And you can find him in the arena shop as well from, not every season, but you're gonna rotate on that. And of course, every single time, 60 fragments to unlock his, Ashoka, and you need 960 fragments to unlock his artifact slot. And of course, with the newer updates, you're gonna need way more immortal fragments in order for you to max out the specialization tree as well. As for Ashoka, I just recently managed to max him out to max star. I do not have an artifact on him, so this is the stats that you can see on the left side at level 30. And what makes me think that he has potential is because of the energy region first and foremost, because that is pretty good to be an archer. And I think it's gonna increase even more if you actually use or you boost him to level 30 and then you level up to level 55. I think you're gonna go up to like 94, 95-ish. I think that's gonna be very good on him. And the stats here is, is very good for an archer, fire archer, good physical attack, good crit hit, which is the most important with the fire team. And I think he has potential with a good artifact, and with a good artifact, with the good passive on there as well and stats, I think he has potential to do very well. And you can see here on the ultimate skill Arrow of Naraka, choose a powerful arrow towards the enemies directly ahead, inflicting massive physical damage at max 420% and has a 50% chance of doubling the attack's damage. This is what I mean about, like, when I said earlier that he has potential to be a very good archer. If that 50% procs that often, then you're dealing basically for 840% damage. And the only bad part, in my opinion, is that it's not an AoE kind of attack ultimate. It basically hit everything in one line, same as if you know William, when he hit his ultimate, it's only hit like in one line in front of him. Same thing can be said about Ashoka in specific way. I mean, in like IB League, the early stages, the pre-elimination stages, I think Ashoka is one of the better immortal there with his ultimate, and his he can become like a supportive damage dealer to either Empress Wu or Hippolyta, which a lot of people are running that kind of mod, which I will show you guys later in this video. So yeah, his ultimate, I think, is very underrated. It could have been a very good ultimate, but we will have to see if the game choose to actually optimize Ashoka after a very long time. It hasn't been relevant in the PvP or in the meta since I think it was after 6 months after he was released or the game was released. He was never, after that he was never relevant enough to be used in the main fire team. Now that we are back in the training camp, here I have a fire team without a dragon, because if I have a dragon, it would probably insta-kill the enemy teams. But we are here to look at the Ashoka ultimate and see how it actually works. So here I have Frederick, Trajan, and Cyrus to help me today. So as I appreciate from Ashoka, I think that's gonna help him a lot more to sustain the fight a little bit more and see how it goes. So here energy regen decently. Keep in mind I didn't have on the 2 times. As you can see, the arrow right there, straight line, basically same as Frederick. If I had William here, we probably do the same thing. And you can see it right there again. And if, for example, this frontliner like Leonidas die, the arrow, the ultimate, will go like diagonal to, for example, hitting Alex and Cleopatra. It will never hit more than 2 at the time at max. And usually sometimes it can be bugged, so you only hit like one immortal at a time. So as you can see, he died very early. I think that team was too OP, so never mind that. Let's just try to take a look at the report and see how it is. And Ashoka, Arrow of Naraka, is fine. I mean, he did ultimate 3 times, hit 2 immortals per time, or at least attempt to hit 2 immortals per time, and then you had 1 dodge, which is pretty okay. But like I said earlier in this video, I don't think his ultimate is going to be relevant for the meta, because you are going to looking for the AoE, like hitting at least 3 or 4 immortal at the time, especially within Archer. That's kind of the thing that has been a meta in a while now, so that's why he is not that popular anymore, or haven't been for like 3 years now. Now let's take a look at the artifact. And the artifacts makes me really think that he has the potential if the game decides to actually optimize Ashoka a little bit. Like when Arrow of Naraka deals double damage, enemy physical defense is decreased by 50% for 12 seconds. That is a lot, and you can play around this for sure. This is one of the things that I think a lot of people overlook, but just because Ashoka is not a very relevant immortal anymore, and if you were to play Ashoka as the carry, which I would say is like 0.1% players that actually do that, Ashoka's artifact would be the Annihilation anytime, any day of the week, because if you can crit with that, I think it's gonna do massive damage, up to probably 30 to 40, 50 million at least. But until that day, I don't think people are gonna, it cannot gonna be popular until we get an optimization, like I mentioned throughout the video. But if I were to get bored one day and I want to try something out, I would definitely go try something like this, because it has potential. So let's go take a look at Ashoka's best skills. So in my opinion here, I have Ashoka as a support damage dealer in the fire team. That's why I put these kind of skills and not the damage skill like we have on the other carry archers. So you have like an aura, like weakness aura, malice aura, and you have assist and absolute defense combo, which is very good for Ashoka and the fire team, especially in the early game. And then of course you can have resist or oaken guard as the 3rd skill. It really depends what you want to use, how you want to use it. And if somehow, some way you decide to try Ashoka as a damage dealer, you can definitely go for Chaos Storm, which I think is going to be a very good skill on Ashoka. to be honest, because it's gonna help Empress Wu as well, or if you have Sendong, it's gonna help her as well, as long as or at same time as Hippolyta. So it's gonna be very good to have purifications. If you want more sustain, same thing with the Spring of Life. And then of course, if you really want Ashoka to be your main damage dealer, I think Time to Shine is gonna be very good, and the Blade Vortex is gonna be also very useful on Ashoka as well. So here we go. These are the skills that I would pick for Ashoka if he were to use in different situations for carry or for damage support. I would recommend you guys to use the damage support. I'm gonna show you guys an IV team that a lot of players were using, and also I'm gonna show you guys some builds for IB League. That's why, that's kind of like the thing where we see Ashoka the most, or where we see the Ashoka the most in the game when we gonna fight him, because in PvP I can guarantee you're probably not gonna see him at all, or if you see him, it's probably like I said earlier in this video, 0.1% of the players in this game actually use Ashoka as a carry. So yeah, let's go take a look in the game and see how we can actually build him in the IB League, which he is the most popular there. So now let's go take a look in the game, and here my friend Mappy, he is kind and sent me a report of his Ashoka in the work in the IB League. In the past two IB Leagues that I participated, we faced only like 7 people all together, so it's kind of hard to actually test a mod, and I basically didn't hit anybody, so I had to ask for a report, and he was kind enough to help me and share his report from what he fought in the IB League. So thank you to him, shout out to him as well. So let's take a look at Ashoka. So Ashoka has become like an immortal where you kind of use him as kind of like a support utilizer for your fire team, and especially if you want like to get the fire buff with the HP, physical attack, magical attack, and the defense stuff, then you have to have all of them together as a fire, which is pretty good. And you can see here the skill he used on Ashoka is assist and hold fast, and then resist as well. So I think if when we come to higher level, he's probably gonna swap this out with Oaken Guard or something like that, or even absolute defense. That would be the most common sense here. And if you look at his team, this is like early stage of IB League, the IB eliminations. So a lot of the green skills, the uncommon one, and the elite skills gonna be used a lot. So yeah, let's take a look at the battle replay and see how Ashoka is utilized against in IB League. So here we can see that his energy regen is pretty good, almost can keep up with Empress Wu, who has a very good energy regen. And you see there the ultimate, only straightforward. And also the enemy team has an Ashoka, and let's see who dies first. So their enemy Ashoka died first, and then our Ashoka died later. So that's pretty good. It's very good, especially in the prelims. I think Ashoka is very strong, and I think that you should definitely go for Ashoka. Although he has Frederick, which I don't know why he did that, but I guess they want to try out. And you can see here, kind of weird skill. So it's like he put every skills on them randomly, and this is, I think this build right here, I don't know where he got it from, but it seems like it's the most common one. It is the one that our alliance got recommended to build if you want to go for full fire, so it's working pretty well. Managed to beat the enemies pretty good with the buff and everything as well. So yeah, that's basically how Ashoka is being utilized right now. I don't see him anywhere else. He is not in the arena teams for majority of the people, probably 99% of the people do not have Ashoka in the arena team as well. So it's really a bit difficult to find him like in real use as a main March or a secondary March or even third March or even fourth March because there are better backliner in the fire right now, which is in Sendok and Empress Wu, and then you have Cyrus as support. That's the most common combo that you have with the fire teams. But like I said, Ashoka have the potential. Ultimate is really good, and if he had artifact here, I think Ashoka would be more broken. But like I said, he's still not he's not that popular, right? So yeah, that's it for this video, and that's it for Ashoka. I wish he could, get an optimization, get anything that can improve his ultimate a little bit because that's gonna be really, really good for him and the fire team as well. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Thank you for the report from my friend. Shout out to him as well. So see you guys in the next video.